People have powerful feelings about the traffic in Los Angeles. It says something that local officials warned motorists about a temporary roadwork closure on the 405 last year by calling it Carmageddon. Angelenos took the hint, and this weekend they're expected to steer clear of the latest 405 closure, named, of course, Carmageddon 2. That's how it is in L.A., a snarl of overstuffed freeways and commuters who keep their cool, except when they don't. KPCC's Stephen Cuevas has this profile of a punk rocker whose music expresses the insanity of L.A. traffic while extolling the virtues of public transit.
Couple of things you need to know about Eddie Solis. He lives in L.A., loves the band Kiss, and does not own a car.
Being someone who's from L.A., born and raised, and, having a few cars in my past, I saw the city much differently, through a different perspective, through the eyes of a bus rider.
Want to just go all the way to the back? Sure.
Line 18, Wilshire, Western Station.
Just steps from the front door of his home, across the street from a tortilla factory in LA's Boyle Heights neighborhood, Solis catches a bus that connects him with the city's subway and the commuter train he catches to his day job at an indie record label in Hollywood.
It just opened me up to little neighborhoods, galleries, clubs, bars, just everything. Just seeing what's out there, little pockets of the city.
Solis's journeys aboard LA buses and subway cars informs a lot of the material on The New Los Angeles Part 1, Through the Eyes of a Bus Rider, the latest release by the singer-guitarist band It's Casual. In Solis's vision of a new Los Angeles, people abandon their cars, climb aboard public transit, and rediscover their communities. One song extols the virtues of the LA County Metropolitan Transit Agency's Easy Pass and the urban underbelly it introduces to the rider.
And that's a nod and homage to, the people who know what you could even go cheaper and really beat the system and really steer away from spending money on gas and oil profits and all that. Is all it takes for me to witness racial tension, for me to witness illegal aliens. It's not to paint a negative picture, it's just my perspective of what is seen.
Off the bus and back on the street, we make our way past a jazz saxophonist playing for pocket change and down a long escalator to catch a train. So, where are we now?
We're at the Red Line station, the Pershing Square station in downtown LA.
And what's our destination?
We're going to go downstairs another tier, and about 5 minutes we're going to get on the Red Line going northbound.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's go. The Metro Red Line snakes from North Hollywood to downtown Los Angeles. It's the train that inspired It's Casual's signature tune and spawned a viral internet video. It was partly filmed late at night on a moving train as it hurtles from station to station. Solis thrashes away on his guitar and barks the lyrics, which celebrate the Red Line and call out the congested freeways that coil around Los Angeles.
Este es un tren del Metro Red Line a North Hollywood.
The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the 210, the freeways are not so nice.
The thread that comes out of the record that ties everyone together is just be alive, don't be a victim of having a car.
The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The red line, the red line.
An MTA spokesman said he couldn't comment on Eddie Solis's furious pro-Metro message, but the Red Line video was a hit at the offices of Move LA.
Eddie's done a good job. Thank you, Eddie.
It's the public transportation advocacy group headed by former Santa Monica Mayor Denny Zane. He liked the juxtaposition of Solis blissfully riding LA public transit in one scene with scenes of the band raging against those notorious freeway jams.
Eddie is all frantic when he talks about highways and so mellow when he's grooving on a skateboard and on the bus and on the Red Line. There's a metaphor for the transformation, from the, oh my God, I just got to get out of the traffic, to hey, this is cool. I can mellow out.
Or you can blast a tune like Too Many People as you claw your way across Los Angeles by car, bus, or skateboard.
Los Angeles, there's too many people. I want them to go away, even though it means they're afraid.
Too Many People could also be a motto for It's Casual. Over the years, the band whittled itself down to a power duo of Solis and a rotating cast of drummers. So you may think the burly, bearded punk rocker just can't get along with freeways, with people, or his native L.A. Not true.
I love it. I love everything about it. I've traveled throughout the U.S. many times, and I could never look forward enough to coming back. The weather, the different cultures, the landscape. I was just like, you know what? Now I know why everyone moves to L.A.
Solis will bring the love and the volume during a Red Line mini tour next month. It's Casual will play a different venue within walking distance of several Red Line metro stops from Union Station to West Hollywood. For the California Report, I'm Stephen Cuevas.
That's the California Report, a production of KQED Public Radio in San Francisco. Our director this week is Nina Thorson. Seal Muller is our technical producer. We had additional engineering from Danny Bringer and Howard Gelman. Thanks to Hank Hadley at KCBX. Our online team includes Lisa Pickoff-White, David Marks, and Don Clyde. Our interns are Catherine Borgeson and Rachel Johnson. Tyke Hendricks is our elections editor with production help from Tina Lauerberg. We had editing support from Paul Rogers. Victoria Malione is our associate senior producer. Ingrid Becker is our senior producer. The news director is Bruce Kuhn. I'm Rachel Myro. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. This is the California Report.
Funds for the California Report are provided by the James Irvine Foundation, expanding opportunity for the people of California and supporting the California Report since its premiere in 1995. And the California Endowment. Health happens in schools at calendow.org. And Chevron, investing in renewables, strengthening communities, and creating jobs. More information at chevron.com.
The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the 210, the freeways are not so nice. The 101, the 405, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The red light, 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 the red light. The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The 101, the 405, the freeways are not so nice. The 605, the 101, the 101, the 101, the I-10, the 210, the 605, the 101, the 405, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The red light, 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 the red light.
Welcome, 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 welcome to Los Angeles NISA episode 132. I'm the show creator, producer, and host, Eddie Solis, co-host Ephraim Schultz. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastically well. How are you doing, Eddie?
132 years old.
And you booked a guest tonight to talk OC.
Dude, booked.
A shredder.
Dude, booked.
A shredder.
You're booked.
No, he's booked, bro, because we did a week of promo
Book
to
him.
our huge network, and we got catering coming. So this is
dude,
official booking.
That is a booking. If I've ever heard of a booking, this would be one.
Everyone,
Dan Jacobs
from a trailer.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Dude, I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling dantastic.
You know Devlin for a long time.
Dude,
I have.
Give us the story. Give us the story.
Atreyu.
I think
I met you pre-Atreyu.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we played the first Death by Stereo show
at
ever.
The Creative Impulse.
Yeah. At Esperanza
High School.
Yeah. And,
dude, that's so great, dude.
I remember that.
Dude, that's crazy,
I remember
dude.
that.
I totally remember that. Because, I remember I met Paul and Jim and all the guys, and then we all started jamming, and then we played that show, and I was the only one that didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
I remember getting there, I'm like, I barely know the band I'm in, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy,
dude, I remember just the hype just from everybody at the school, because, just knowing all the dudes, Jared Alexander and Ian Fowles. And stuff,
from the decons.
The decons, which, none of us...
Dude, they were ripping, dude.
So good. It was one of those bands, when you're in high school, you're so blown away and you don't even realize how good it really is that you're of what it is that you're watching until later on. Everybody went on to do such big things and such incredible things. Everybody.
Isn't that great, dude?
Everybody.
It's kind of a very unique group of people that came out of that, I guess, our scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird.
There's a lot of people that came out of our little clique.
Dude, a lot.
It's very strange.
All of you guys swallowed the planet, and Jared did everything.
Yeah,
every hardcore band ever, and My Chemical Romance.
So you go,
you know what I mean?
Ian
It's
Fowles?
crazy, dude.
Ian's in the Aquabats.
Yeah, dude.
Ian Fowles, he knows Ian Fowles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian plays in Aquabats.
They all went to Esperanza, where we played our first show.
Yeah.
Really?
With them, yeah, dude.
Yeah. I remember somebody...
No, you weren't Atreyu yet, though.
I think we were Retribution
You were
at the time.
Retribution at the time.
Yeah,
You were
we were
Retribution.
keeping it punk.
Fuck, super punk, dude. You guys are punk,
Dude, we covered 2 AFI songs off the same AFI record in that set.
That's like Europe opening and closing with the final countdown.
Dude,
all I got.
Thank you. I saw Europe open for Def Leppard in the 8th grade at Verizon, and it was so weird. It was because it just didn't seem right.
They have songs other than the final countdown.
Yeah.
What are those
we
for?
have other songs in final.
It was so
other songs.
It was so
you have
weird.
not heard my catalog.
I mean that's part of Orange County, because I saw that show in Orange County, Irvine Meadows, right?
Irvine Meadows.
And it was when Hysteria just came out.
Oh.
And not even all the how that record had a huge cycle. There was 8 singles. They were through the 4th single. When on the first leg, so there was another 2 years going, and Europe opened, and I remember just standing there, and they rose from the ground, and their keyboarders had 4 tiers of keyboards, and he's just all.
You really need those.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah. And
what
I was
are you gonna do with
key?
it?
And I was so pumped.
You not show up.
One to play with your balls or something.
I was
doing all those keys.
Dude, you know what? I was always a guy. I was always a guy that was came from punk and hardcore and metal, and tried to give all that stuff a fair chance.
Yeah.
So I bought that tape, and then I remember I bought White Lion.
I was listening to White Lion today on cassette tape.
Wait is a
van.
good Wait is a good song, right?
All I'm gonna say is, fucking all hail Vito Bratta.
Oh, dude.
He had the Steinberger with the no headstock.
I like that song. I like that song. Tell Me.
Oh, dude.
That's good, right?
Oh, I love Tell Me. I used to be my ringtone. I used to Tell Me was my ringtone.
So let me go
Hey,
back.
you remember when everybody still bought ringtones?
Oh, dude, I still have the same. When you call my
You have
phone,
a ringback tone. I call it, dude.
It's the one that came with the phone, and I've had it for
great.
15 years. Same number.
I heard it
same
when I
ringback
called your
tone.
Nokia earlier, dude. And fuck, the ringback hit me.
Yeah, you think you're in an elevator or something. You're like, what is this?
So
Your Nokia.
going back to my Orange County concert story with Def Leppard in Europe.
Oh, God.
When they were rising out of the ground, Def Leppard was
They
4
rose
singles
from beneath.
into the Hysteria album cycle. It was Pour Some Sugar on Me, Love Bites,
Oh, yeah. Hysteria.
Animal, Hysteria, and then
Woman.
I don't even think Woman was out yet. It was,
okay.
but it was there were 3 or 4 singles in when they came.
Yeah.
And it was that record had 8 singles, right?
That was the one where you put all the 45s together and it made the album cover,
yeah.
right?
And then you had
So
exactly.
good.
And then you had
My brother
Europe
had
had Cherokee and the Final Countdown, and
I don't know this Cherokee, but I sure do know the final countdown.
I tried to like it, and I remember just watching them rise. And then when I saw the 4-tier keyboard, I was like, "This is so bad."
Did he play?
This is
Did he play
horrible.
each note on a keyboard? Like up and down.
Keyboard athletics, bro.
Totally, dude.
It'd be better if he didn't play it at all. Like, they were just there.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what's funny? It's the other day I went to go see my nephew play sports. So I hooked up with like my family in Whittier.
Yeah.
And like I was in the car with my mom and listening to like Jack or whatever, and like REO Speedwagon. I think it's Toto. No. What's that one song that goes?
Hold the line?
Yeah, hold the line.
Toto.
Love isn't always on
And then I got into this whole excessive speech telling her like, they all had big mustaches and double neck guitars.
Oh,
and they're only
perfect.
playing like 3 chords, 3 power chords.
That's all you need.
And same thing with the 4-tier keyboard.
Hey, dude, the 4-tier keyboard was kind of like it was kind of happening right there at that moment.
Staple thing.
Did you ever go to Coos back in the day?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Played there many times.
I love Coos.
Love Coos.
I love Coos.
Dude,
It's still there. It's not a Coos anymore.
It's just
but
a house.
Yeah, people like live there again.
Really?
Bro, people like live there.
It's weird. Like, why would you live in the house that was made for rocking?
I was in this band called X-Fork. Hardcore band called X-Fork. And we played with Man is a Bastard there.
Oh, that's amazing.
And who else? Man is a Bastard and I can't remember, but there were some good shows.
Foreigner.
I wish.
I think I was at that show. It was sick, dude.
No,
Foreigner
I
in the
wish.
house, in the
Foreigner
living room. Bunch of people drinking coffee.
Oh,
She was
craziest 75 people I've ever seen in
Dude,
my
it was
life.
wild. Dude, whoa.
Coke robes. Right?
Coke robe?
Everyone's wearing Coke robes.
What's a Coke robe?
Like when you wear a robe and do Coke.
Hey, you know what I will
like a
say?
smoking jacket
I've
and
never-
then there's Coke robes.
I've never worn a robe.
robes.
Robes are like Crocs. It's like a rubber robe. But I've never done Coke and worn a robe at the same time. But have you ever rocked a robe on tour? That's a hard style. You just get out like in the robe, walk at the venue, like, what's happening? Yeah.
You know what I've seen who legitimately rocks one is Dave Mustaine.
Oh,
Does
I
he?
went to a show, actually. I went with Ian Fowles.
Dave Ellison's been on here.
With Ian
Really?
Fowles.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're huge, bro. We're huge, bro. Right?
Dude, the biggest.
Went with Ian Fowles. Saw Megadeth play with Black Sabbath with Dio singing, and we go up there. We went there because there was some drum thing that he had to deliver like a part to somebody or something like that. So
Random.
somehow we got backstage. We get up, we're standing on the side of the stage, and like Megadeth just finishes, and Dave Mustaine walks off, and they like wrap him in a cloak as he's exiting the stage. Like,
That's so amazing.
I was like, I want cloaks.
What are you,
to be-
fucking James Brown?
Yeah,
He's like
just
bends down,
cloak
with
me.
the cape on him.
Like you're telling like your crew, like I need that to operate.
Yeah.
When I walk off, I need that to continue the tour.
It's just not. I don't feel complete.
I did the cloak at the. Do you remember the Vault in Long Beach?
Dude.
Remember that venue?
Oh, yeah.
We played the Vault one time, and I got like a tennis ball fluorescent yellow hoodie on, and I just like put it over myself and like a big giant fake fat cold rope, and I walked down stage and kneeled down, and my buddy Phil like took it off me. Took the chain off. We did like a whole ceremony, and we did an exit one too. And nobody laughed.
Can I tell you?
No one thought it was cool.
I got a story to go along with it. Go ahead.
Since this is an Orange County episode, and before we get into your like career and like how you've been playing guitar and technique and your records, all that stuff, I got a great Orange County story.
Okay.
This is recent, dude. It's like 4 years ago. So I go to Anaheim House of Blues, and at the time, like
you mean Disney's Fourth Reich?
Yeah. I'm running a
real
record
easy
label
venue
called,
to get into.
I'm running a record label called Southern Lord, right, for like a decade, and Sun is opening for Celtic Frost. So
whoa, Celtic Frost.
Yeah, so I'm laughing
I know.
because Rick Agnew's there.
Oh, boy.
And a friend of mine introduces
Shredding
me
his
to
guitar
Rick
player,
Agnew.
fucking ever.
And he's just like, he has a beanie and like he has a t-shirt and his neck's all stretched out and he's just like all
LP.
sweaty and like I think he's drinking and stuff, just like whatever. And then like everyone's watching Celtic Frost and he's walking up to all these long hairs and just pulling their hair from behind.
What? Rick's doing that?
4 years ago, dude.
4 years. Dude, what?
And while he pulled every long hair's hair and like would walk to the next one, he's just laughing to himself, like euphoric.
Dude, a lot of dudes in Orange County have some amazing Rick Agnew stories.
That's pretty good,
No
though,
joke.
right? For Anaheim House of Blues?
Oh, dude. Paul told me, Paul Miner, for anybody listening, Paul Miner used to be in a band with me, but he's a great record producer. He's a genius.
He made
Produced one of our
Los
records.
Angeles too.
Yeah, he did produce your record. He produced one of your records
Produced our
too.
first
I think on that
EP,
record. But Paul was pulling out of his driveway, backing out, and he's like, "What? like 8 a.m. And there's just some dude like standing in the street. And he's like, the fuck? And he's like, babe, hey, get the fuck out the way. Rick Agnew. Like, I don't know why. He was just standing in the middle of Paul Street at like 8 in the morning.
So random.
Dude, so weird, dude. Like, what? Anyways.
Dan, how long have you been playing guitar?
Well, let's see. I'm 31, and I started playing when I was 12. So a little bit of time.
What was the catalyst that got you to pick it up and commit?
Let's see. Honestly, Billy Joe from Green Day.
Really?
Yeah. Back in like
the Lookout days?
Or was it this Dookie? Is right when Dookie came out. I mean, it got me really into all the Lookout stuff, but
how did that segue into being like Shred Guy?
Because
you know what I mean? That's pretty different,
rules,
man.
Right? No, I can give you actually all the different points of where this happened.
Let's do the Dan Jacobs guitar timeline.
Your moment only.
Don't fuck this up, man. No pressure. We're all counting on you.
Okay, so I was in like 7th grade, and in particular, I was already being enticed to play guitar by this kid that was sitting next to me in my language arts class. And his name was Brian Kelly, and he was a amateur drummer.
Nice.
And he, in particular, just kept talking about this drumming thing. He was really selling it to me, like just being in a band and this whole thing. And I'm like, oh man, that'd be so cool. Like I could maybe like, he's like, you should, play guitar or like do something, and we can be in a band together. Like we became like friends. I'm like, oh, okay. And then at the time I was also getting really into just music was just really hitting me hard. And it was the 90s,
It was really resonating with you, Nirvana, Weezer, maybe.
All of it.
All that stuff.
Yeah. All of it.
Now, I got to stop you right there because, you're 31, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 8 years older than you. And I got to be honest, like when that happened,
You're
that
fucking
music,
old, by the way.
No, I'm young. I'm not a senior citizen yet. But when I have my special powers as an old man, you know what they're going to be?
What?
Getting into movies for half price.
That's a good special power. You're pretty much a superhero.
That was like, look, there's no internet. What's fed to you is Michael Jackson and Poison on MTV, and that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Except for being fed Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And Poison.
So when Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden,
oh yeah,
all that happened, and then a year later, it was like Weezer, Offspring, and Green Day was like yes.
Oh, it was incredible. I was so inspired. I mean, especially Billy Joe and just Green Day. Like just from the name, my favorite color is green. So my favorite color is green. Just the album cover, all the songs, they just spoke to me. I was just like,
cool.
This just fucking does it for me,
I read you liked green on Match.com earlier. I was doing some research.
Love it.
Yeah, dude.
When Green Day dropped Dookie, they were already like 3 records in on Lookout, right? They already had like 2 or 3 records on Lookout.
Yeah. 1039 Smooth and Slappy Hours.
Now, I went to the Virgin. Okay, pre-internet, MTV and K-Rock would break records, right? So Dookie came out. Myself and a bunch of friends knew that, we were on to Green Day because we all loved like the Lookout stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like Screeching Weasel and all that. Mm-hmm. And so we went to the Virgin Mega Store in Costa Mesa.
I remember that.
Wow. On the second
Triangle
story.
Square.
Yeah.
Green Day played an in-store.
Oh, whoa.
Like day after the record. I think they played a Hollywood Virgin. They played like at 2:00. It was summertime. I think I just graduated from high school. So we went and it was like 30 people there.
No way.
It's crazy.
2 months later on MTV. And then that's, but it took longer to grow.
Yeah. What's interesting too is even just how much all that stuff matters and singles and all that stuff. The last record label that Atreyu was working with was Hollywood Records, and our A&R guy, Jeffrey Weiss, was working the Dookie record back
when
it came out. And he was telling us that like it sold like X millions amounts of copies, just from Basket Case.
Right.
And then I think they did even like Longview and it kind of was whatever. And then they dropped When I Come Around and it sold 4 million, 5 million more copies.
That's crazy.
More. Like it just took them into this whole nother like world because they weren't just a punk band anymore. Now they're like
a giant
this
pop phenomenon.
Yeah.
If you were on Hollywood Records and you have some Queen stories. Did you?
No. I mean, because Queen, I mean, they're like,
that shit was a long ass time ago, man. Nobody works there anymore. They work at Queen.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like a lot of times we'll have people in here that have had, been on labels and they meet like these guys in like these iconic bands because they're in the office at the same time and all that stuff. Right. Like that's never happened. You never met Freddie Mercury? I'm just kidding.
Well, no, not
naked in my dreams.
Yeah. No, there's never. I mean, we never were fortunate to run into anybody of any.
Who did you run into there that
importance.
was fucking totally lame?
Where to start? No. It's
Well, Hollywood is owned by Disney, man.
Who
No,
is
they
the
were all very
weirdest? I gotta know because, dude, you've played some crazy big ass fucking places with like bands, crazy bands, like not fucking lame, not any of that. What's the fucking weirdest fucking dude you ever met? Like, could be totally cool, but just fucking bizarre. Like, you've seen some weird shit, I'm sure. But who's the weirdest band you ever toured with?
I'm going to say this, and God rest his soul. He was a gentleman and a scholar, but he's passed. But Jimmy from Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, dude, Jimmy's the best, dude.
Jimmy was one of the
best.
craziest, most interesting, strangest characters I'd ever met in my life. I mean, I have some gnarly stories about that dude where I'm just like, there's nobody like that guy. Nobody like that
in the
guy.
world.
We'd be like, we did this tour with him in Australia, and I got two stories just about him in Australia in particular. They're both extremely interesting. One, well, this is not just weird. Where everyone's up all night, you're raging, you're partying, and you go you sleep for maybe an hour or two, and then you have to get up super early because you got to fly to the next city.
Right.
You know, you fly everywhere in Australia because it's so spread apart.
Yeah.
And everyone is like just dead silent on this like a shuttle bus that we're all on. It's us, Bullet for My Valentine, Avenged Sevenfold. We're all piled on
Because
this
they're all
bus.
hungover.
That's a crazy tour.
No one has any energy, right? Everyone's just like...
Everyone's dead, except for Jimmy, who is wide awake singing opera at the top of his lungs. And everybody's just like, what is this guy doing?
It's amazing,
Oh, my God. Like, what is going on right now? It's so strange. Or this is okay. This is even weirder. This is the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing I mean, I know he's probably done weird, but this is the weirdest thing I've seen. There was this girl that would come out to shows in both U.S. and in Australia. She was this little tiny, she was handicapped in one way. They're like physically, like she was just really, really, really small and had this little, like a little powered wheelchair thing. And I remember you'd always see her up in the front row. She'd come through signing lines, you know, for all these kind of bands. She loved that type of music. And I remember in particular playing one of these shows and seeing her there, you know, while you're playing, you see up in front. And then eventually the show is over, and backstage you see Jimmy driving around in her chair with like her on his lap.
What?
Like
she lives in that chair, and he picked her up and he sat in the chair.
Oh, no, don't worry. It gets better. It gets better. He took her back to her hotel room.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What? Yes, he did. He took her back because he wanted to see how she could pee. He wanted to see how she could do that.
He wanted to know, sincerely.
Sincerely. I mean, he's just a really interesting guy. Like, he just has just a very different way of looking at life and looking. I mean, that's why he was such an incredible musician. And
probably an incredible human being. Like, he didn't judge anybody.
He was amazing.
No, he was just didn't give a fuck. He just wanted to fucking enjoy himself, you know?
Yeah.
I met Jimmy, and he was in a band called Looney Booms, and it was all drummers. With Tim Bender.
That sounds like something you would
before he
do.
was in our band. It was insane, dude. And he had like this big hair. He looked like Beaker from the Muppets.
He wore like trench coats and stuff.
Yeah.
Beaker from the Muppets, dude.
His hair, and he's like, all crazy with the
Dude, Beaker's awesome.
That dude, you're absolutely right. There's no one like him, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Never will be, dude.
He didn't see her pee, but he did have sex with her.
That's
wow.
Yeah,
What a crippled woman.
Thank you.
Crippled, little, tiny.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, everybody needs some loving.
I'm sending this out to Jimmy. I fucking love you, bro. That's amazing.
Dude, he probably made her
He's
life.
one of a kind.
Because she was like a fan, right?
Oh, she was like a super fan. Like, it was like, when is a girl like that ever going to have an opportunity like that? Like, he was like, I got you, girl. I got you.
So
laid it down.
Rad,
laid it down. Laid the pipes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's great is I've definitely had this conversation with dudes in bands, and it's pretty rad the amount of dudes that have had the amount of sex that they have had with other human beings that are missing like huge parts of their bodies.
You know what?
Like legs and arms.
I see Dan huge.
Wait. Hold on. Are you talking about Dan Palmer?
Absolutely.
Hey, I'll cop to a couple.
Listen. Hold on. This is good radio. Let's get Dan Palmer and you back.
Oh,
we need you and Dan on the show together, dude.
Talk about
that would be so raging,
groupie
dude.
stories with missing limbs and guitar shredding. Okay.
Is there anything else?
No,
the
missing limb lover in my band was me.
Really?
I just admitted that on national internet.
Let's talk about
international internet or whatever.
So let's springboard off the fact that you were heavily influenced by Billy Joel from Green Day.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now, when did you really get into like shredding? Like, what were some of your influences? Let me guess. Iron Maiden?
Okay.
You got to go with the time. We're not done with the timeline. We got a timeline of Dan's shred, the shredology.
So got into all that stuff, especially Billy Joe, because you'd hear he was a little guy. I'm a little guy. When you're a little guy, it's a little more difficult to kind of pick up on the ladies. It's a little more difficult. So what I noticed,
right? Even if you're in a good band,
all the above. So what I noticed is you'd go to school and it was like everyone was like, "Oh my God!" All the girls were like, "Oh my God, you're just so hot!" Blah blah blah. I'm like, God, man, see, if I could just do that, I could get the girls and I could make money and I could be everybody will want to be my friend. Like
money, girls, and free guitars.
Yeah, everything I could ever want in life.
Totally,
I would get that. So I was like, I'm going to do that. So I need to join a band. So it just kind of all started from there.
That was the genesis.
And then when the shredding came into play, I mean, the root of it was actually, and there's a whole other story I can tell you out of this. It's also very interesting. But one of the first bands I ever heard when I was 11 years old was Warrant. And it was Warrant's Cherry Pie record. A friend of a friend, when I first moved to Yorba Linda, I was about 11 years old. This kid brought over a cassette tape of Warrant's Cherry Pie, and he popped that thing, and I'd never heard music like that
Aren't
before.
you neighbors with one of those dudes?
That's one of my stories. It's real. I have a really interesting story with that.
I didn't mean to...
No, yeah, but it ties into that. But I just remember hearing that and being like, I was obsessed with that before. And then from there, that's when I tailed into Green Day. And then, I didn't listen to that kind of music until I turned about 15. And a buddy of mine had Def Leppard's Hysteria. And he's like, you got to hear this. And he plays me Pour Some Sugar on Me. And I'm like, what is this?
Whoa.
Like, this is the biggest sounding song I've ever heard in my life. I mean, like, what is this? And I fell in love with that record. And then just everything that came along. I mean, from there, it was Van Halen and the Scorpions and Dokken and White Lion and White Snake.
Like great rock bands.
All of them.
White Snake and White Bear and Whitefish.
White
Lion. Dude, okay. Quick Orange County butt rock trivia related to Kiss.
Ooh, I got nothing on Kiss.
I don't know. You don't like Kiss? Okay.
He knows everything about Kiss.
Yeah. Mark St. John, who replaced Vinnie Vincent before Bruce Kulick, is from Santa Ana.
Okay.
That was confusing.
Played on the Animalize record. Started a band after he got let go from Kiss. What was the name of the band?
I have no idea.
White Tiger. So there's White Lion, White Snake.
I got an idea.
Great White and White Tiger.
We'll get all our CDs in the same department as White Lion.
That's her marketing scheme.
That's great.
Isn't that great trivia? Orange County trivia, though?
Yeah. That's
amazing. So the timeline.
Okay, so heard that. From there, it was like, then I started going into at the time I was about my third year of taking guitar lessons, which was the last year of me taking guitar lessons.
Yeah.
I have another crazy story.
It's like you broke free of the chains of contemporary lessons.
Yeah, my teacher was talking to me too much. He would just talk too much, and so I started going there. I was trying to be like, hey man, I want to show me some of these Def Leppard riffs, or teach me how to, play some Van Halen. Like I was in this rhythm and groove class, which was like a group guitar class where you'd play with a drummer and a bass player and a singer and a keyboard player. Cool. And you'd switch out members, and you'd then eventually at the end of the several months of this class, you'd go and you'd play a gig together.
It's rad.
It was awesome. It was super awesome. And one of the songs, the thing that turned me on completely on the lead guitar playing that like really pushed the button was they're like one of the guys, they're like, bringing what songs you want to do. And this guy was like, I want to do Panama by Van Halen.
Dude, that's awesome.
And I was like, is there distortion in the song? I'm in, because I was like the only guy that was like the punk rock dude.
Right. Into hard music.
Loved that. So I was like, is there distortion? I'm in. I didn't really know much about Van Halen, and I heard the song and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And just couldn't, I was like, I need to learn the solo. And even in that, a lot of people don't know this. We have this song called Right Side of the Bed. And I blatantly took a Van Halen riff. Please don't sue me, Van Halen. I blatantly took one of their riffs. And in the solo, I have a straight up from Panama lick in the solo.
I love it.
For real?
No one's ever called me out on it.
I've been a huge Van Halen fan since 84. When I was 9 years old, when 1984 came out. In 84, I was 9 years old. And the first time I saw Van Halen was last year. I saw him at the Honda Center and twice at Staples Center, so 3 times in 1 week.
Yeah, with Wolfie?
Yeah, and I was right there in front.
Wolfie? DLR, dude. It was good.
That was,
DLR.
Were you there?
I went and saw it, yeah.
Yeah, I went to both Staples Center and one Anaheim show. And over the weekend, I was YouTubing Van Halen at the US Festival, the legendary Southern California Metal Fest. And it's so
You
rad.
should Google the Clash at the US Festival. What's the Stray Cats. Stray Cats.
That's good
I was thinking
too.
Clash at Shea Stadium.
But the amazing thing about it is, to see Van Halen at their peak.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And like Eddie's just like, he's not of this
but
earth. But
Roth fucks up the lyrics, remember?
Yeah, but dude, I love how his hair is fried and dyed. You know what I mean? And he's got a glitter Coke robe on. With no shirt. It's so good, dude. Like, okay, but the serious part of what I'm trying to say is Eddie, he's just so good, man. To this day, seen him on stage. I mean, come on, as a guitarist, were you impressed?
Oh, I bite his licks for days.
I will say with Eddie, whether it's in life, in the party, at home, on the guitar, being a fucking complete nut job, he has a commitment to excellence. He does everything to the fullest, dude. Dude.
He shows up at Uzi's with the Uzis at Fred Durst's house.
Yeah, how great is
You remember that?
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
when he had to try to audition for Limp Bizkit.
He tried to audition for Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, he did.
Who auditions Van Halen? Like, if he comes in, you're like, gig, you got it. You're in.
So Fred
showed up with an Uzi.
So Fred tried to talk him out of it. So they rehearsed in Coldwater Canyon at Fred's place. And this is, through very reliable source. I would not be saying this unless it was true. And so, remember when he had the Guitar Center auditions? For Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, I do.
So basically, he goes, okay, so his whole crew shows up in these rider trucks and unloads all his arena gear. At Fred Durst's house, dude. And he shows up in a mechanic suit.
Oh.
Barefooted.
So disconnected.
Barefooted, dude. An orange mechanic suit. Barefooted. And with his fucking...
Trying to look like Wes.
Probably, yeah.
I never thought of that.
That's so good. That makes it even better.
So it is what it is. And then they're like, we're just gonna go another route. And Fred trying to try to be really nice about it.
How do you have to break that to Van Halen?
I know.
Fred,
sorry, man, it's not gonna work out. You got an Uzi.
Now, actually, I was in New York with a band I was playing in, and he was telling the singer of the band I was in the story because Mike he's really good friends with Fred.
Yeah.
And so Fred had all these commitments. It's was out of town, and Eddie wanted to get his gear, and they kept missing each other. They both live in Coldwater Canyon, so it's just just go get it, man. I got people there. They'll open a door for you and get your gear.
Yeah.
And they kept missing each other, and so Fred gets back, and Eddie shows up in the mechanic suit with an Uzi.
An Uzi. I want my stuff.
Tom Selleck style.
Tom Selleck. You know what? Jason Freeze told me the story.
Does that sound far-fetched when it's Eddie?
No, not at all, because when I tell you this, it's not going to make anything sound far-fetched. Jason Freeze told me that his brother was playing drums on some recording at 5150 Studio. And so he's recording, and there's
Alex Van Halen.
Or Jason Freeze.
No, Josh Freeze was recording.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason's brother Josh was recording there. And they had security cameras in the fucking place, so you could see who was pulling up and shit. And that fucking this Ferrari's like, woo, and Eddie gets out, and he's like, oh, Eddie's fucking walking in here, Comes in, he's like, hey, man, just interrupts their session. Hey, man, let's fucking jam, dude. He's all, you could just, because Josh was waiting to get his kit set up for the people to come on. He's like, just jump on Alex's shit. I'm playing bass. We're going to fucking start a band. Come on, crazy. And then fucking,
we're going to start a band right now.
Wait a second. I should check with Alex first. And bails, and he's like, what? And the engineer's like, dude, just let's get back to work.
Don't worry about
Let's
it.
get your shit going, And then fucking, dude, he says, he sees the fucking Eddie on a pocket bike in the camera, and then takes the pocket bike and shoves it in the passenger seat of his Ferrari.
With a motor.
Yeah. He puts it in a closed door, runs in the studio, and is like, hey, man, I got something I got to do that's really important. I'll be back in an hour. We'll get our jam on. So what's important is Eddie Van Halen goes to the supermarket and it's trying to do
Rock and Roll Ralph's, right?
Yeah.
On Sunset.
And trying to do donuts on his pocket bike. It crashes into a wall. He gets all fucked up and he's bleeding and shit. Comes back. Sorry, man, we can't jam. I go to the hospital and fucking
came back to tell them that.
Yeah, the engineer's he said he was all like, oh my God, should we do this? He's all, don't worry, dude. You won't have to wait. They all know him. That's normal for Eddie.
Oh my God.
So the fact that you're heavily influenced by Eddie Van Halen, that's a lot of room for discussion. Now, don't you think as a guitarist, hearing about the folklore of Eddie Van Halen, hearing the records, seeing the footage, and then seeing him a year and a half ago, I mean, imagine seeing that in 76.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to even wrap, because it's so much.
Because it's still relevant, right?
Absolutely. But I mean, so much, it's kind of like hearing death metal in the 90s or something like that.
Dude, remember the first time I heard death metal? It was the craziest thing.
Craziest thing. It was terrifying. I remember hearing it being this kind of scares me a little bit.
Okay. I know we keep interrupting your timeline, but speaking of hearing that all crazy shit,
we're adding on to my timeline.
We are adding on your timeline. I got to know this, and I want to know this from you too, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you And when were you the first time you heard Slayer? Oh, that's a defining moment.
Can I be
in
honest?
any musician's life?
I don't remember.
Right? But that's pretty defining, Slayer.
I was at
Look, man, I haven't heard Slayer yet.
I hate to say this, I'm not a big Slayer fan. Not a big Slayer fan.
Woo!
I never
Hey,
got
that's
into.
cool.
The
fact that you admit
the opinions
that
expressed
is
by the guests of
awesome.
Los Angeles News do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host.
I can't. I like melody. I just like a little bit of melody.
I get it.
It was. Just never really did anything for me.
Just was an earth shaker. You realize like some people listening right now. Some people listening right now are all
out of the closet or something. I'm like,
But
all right, guys,
okay.
I don't really like Slayer.
Do you know how much balls that takes?
That took a lot of balls.
That's
man.
what I love.
That's pretty Slayer.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that you're like, well, I don't like.
I mean, I wouldn't say they openly aren't Atreyu fans.
Right.
So, it's like, hey, they're lovely people. Just not a fan. They're very talented. It just doesn't do anything for me.
You know what's rad is people referring to Slayer as lovely.
That's why I can't be a fan.
Okay. As a Van Halen, you're a big Van Halen fan, though.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the necessity of Michael Anthony's background vocals? I think they're required.
Absolutely. He can hit some high notes.
Those are high, dude.
Super high notes. And in the 80s, they were absolutely necessary, just like that fourth keyboard.
Just excess, right? Like
excess.
We need that guy just to play one note.
Yeah.
The root note and just hit high background vocals.
No, it was even more. His bass solos were the most necessary thing out of any of
his bass solos where he would just do feedback.
With a Jack Daniels bass.
With a
Jinx. Dude, Jinx. Steal me Coke. Speaking of drinks, I should get those beers out of the freezer.
I heard. Okay, because Kiss, Gene Simmons discovered Van Halen, quote unquote.
Oh, he discovered air, and he has a patent on it.
On the radio, though.
He was trademark.
Right? Yeah. Air, water, right?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of
okay.
it.
So he still says that in interviews, and I heard that the Gene Simmons bass solo just one note and then spitting blood and flying through the air.
Yeah. That's what he...
I heard that Michael Anthony's making fun of him.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
It does.
He's like, blah, blah.
Like, what do I care? I'm Michael Anthony. I'm going to get
Jack
so
Daniels
much bass. I'm just going to pour booze in my face and just run around like a maniac.
Dude, trivia. How tall is Michael Anthony? I can tell you.
5'9"?
5'2".
5'2". Is he really?
Mike Anthony.
Is he really? I'm taller than him.
Michael Anthony is 5'2".
I got a couple inches on that guy.
There is he lives in Glendora and he's gone to Guitar Center West Covina.
Okay.
And he has walked in and a person I know that's 5'4" has greeted him and he's shorter than them.
That's awesome.
You know how that rules?
Awesome. I feel better about myself right now.
Okay, let me share something with you. So I have a great relationship with a guy named Greg Ginn who owns SST and plays in Black Flag. Founded the band Black Flag.
Okay.
I'm a huge Black Flag fan. And
they've done some things.
Yeah. A few things, right?
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
And I love how the AC is on. Can you hear it?
Oh, should I turn it off?
No.
Is the AC bugging the kids? I turn it on. You know why? Because I am just too hot. I'm dying here. I'm sweating up a storm.
Sweating off my tits.
Yeah, sweating my tits
keep it
off.
Okay, so listen. So, I went out to Taylor, Texas 2 Februaries ago to play with
Tyler, Texas?
Taylor, Texas.
Oh, Taylor. There's a Taylor and a Tyler. That's great.
So get this. So I'm here
Tyler,
auditioning
Texas.
for Black Flag. And, I used to work for Greg at SST. We've been friends. We've jammed a lot. He's like, I'm thinking about different bass player. Come out. Flew me out. Hung out there 4 days. And we're talking about, I was telling him, it was right after, the February after the Pawn show or the Honda Center show.
Okay.
So it was the February after that summer. And I was like, dude, I saw Van Halen for the first time in my life. I went to both LA shows and Orange County show. And Greg's like, he's very he's a purist when it comes to good music. And he's like, I used to go see Van Halen when they were a trio. When Eddie would sing.
Huh.
And he would do the whole Hendrix thing where he would sing the licks while he would mimic the melody of the licks while he sang.
Huh.
You know what I mean? like kind of George Benson style.
That's so fucking hard to do, dude.
Yeah, and he was like, I would go to LAX by myself to go see Van Halen at the Proud Bird.
Wow.
A venue. It was like a restaurant, bar and grill at LAX, and they did a residency there for like 2 months. That's cool. And he would go see them as a trio
And
before Roth was in the band. He's like, and he's like, there was no one louder than them, and no one as radical as them. Like they were cooler than all the rock bands because they weren't fucking idiots, and they just ripped and would play loud, and they all were just like badass. And he brought it. He goes, and like they had this like kind of punk approach to like the delivery.
Yeah.
It was just like the bite, you know, like.
Yeah.
And that's great getting from Black Flag saying that.
That's pretty cool.
That's a cool fun fact.
Yeah.
As a trio.
Real recognize real.
Wow.
No,
Just kidding.
No, but I mean, but so do you like Sammy Hagar?
I do.
Yeah,
I
it's
support him.
different.
You
It's
like
just-
Sammy Hagar?
I do. It's just it's like a totally different beast, though. You know,
OU812.
Hey,
I like them both because I mean I can't.
That's
drive
what dreams are
55,
made of.
you know?
Hey man,
Oh.
Sammy
I love
Hagar.
Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, I got a soft sensual.
I bet
side.
you it's fucking a really good time hanging out with Sammy.
Sammy
dude,
Hagar
I'm gonna
throws a
Cabo.
party,
Yeah, I
but
wanna go Cabo.
DLR is the party. We know that.
He's
But let's be honest.
He's a Jew. I'm a Jew. He's a
There
Jew.
you go.
I'm like,
Hey,
we're on
listen.
the same team.
Listen. I've worked in the music industry my whole life for labels. I worked for the Jews. I love all the Jews. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Hey, all you Jews out there, this show's giving you a lot of love right now. My
Jews
nephew's
and
Jew.
Mexicans get
Jew
along,
too.
man.
Yeah, I've become part Jewish. My family married into a Jewish family, and so now I am proudly pseudo-Jewish.
There we go. Part of the
There you
team.
go.
You know, well, see, my nephew, on my side of the family, we have German and Mexican. And so on his mom's side of the family, it would be the Jewish side. So he's
got Germans and Jews.
Yeah, but
all
so
kinda
he's
mixing it in there.
mixing it up. But it's
Mixing
so he's
mixing
Jew.
it up.
So he's Jew.
Did you mix it up, bro?
He's like Jewish.
Yeah, that's my line. Dude. Like people.
No way.
Because people are like, Dan, are you Jewish? I'm like, well, I'm Jew-ish.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
Not really full Jew, but Jewish.
Yeah, it's like I am. Like I've been bar mitzvahed. I've done it, but I did it for a guitar. That's how I got my first Les Paul.
No way.
What?
I got
You
bar
agreed to the bar mitzvah. You get the guitar.
Oh, they were like, "Well, you like, please do this for us. We'll get you anything you want." I'm all like, "Anything?" I was like, "I want a Les Paul." And the only reason I wanted that Les Paul, I didn't even know that Les Pauls were really nice guitars at the time. I just saw this thing, a picture of Noodles from Offspring playing one. I was like, "That's a really beautiful guitar. I want that." And I went to Guitar Center and bought it off the wall.
I have a similar story. When I was 15 and I was still a girl, it was time for my quinceañera, and they said, you can have anything you want if you just do this. And I said, I want a pack of condoms and some cigarettes. You know, it was a great moment in my life. So anyways.
So when you saw Van Halen, was that the first time you saw him?
Yeah, I've only seen him. Well, it wasn't. It was like the first time they came back with Wolfie.
Right.
Yeah, like
Wolfie.
I mean, they don't play often.
No.
That's why I went to all three shows because I was like, okay, they're all like almost 60. If there's another record, by the time they come, it's going to be 4 years later. It's probably not going to be that good.
Yeah.
I got to go. You know?
Yeah. I mean, especially it's like if it, you know, unfortunately, I don't know why Michael Anthony can't just be in the band, but I mean, if they're gonna have anybody, like, I'll take Wolfie. He's a Van Halen.
He's a Van Halen, dude.
He's Van Halen. I'll take it. He plays.
It's his namesake.
Yeah, I'll take it.
He bears the namesake.
Okay, we're gonna take our first musical break.
True.
We'll be back.
Really quick before we go to break, I want to let everybody know that they can call in and talk to Dan at 800-893-9562.
Let that
and we'll
be
be
known.
sitting here doing shots of cold cock. Thanks, Adam.
This
Adam Greer,
the man.
Los Angeles Nista, episode 132, is brought to you by Amoeba Music, amps and greenscreens.com, La Mascota Bakery, El Cholo,
Program Skate and Sound,
and Two Felon Skates.
Hi, this is Michelle Barton from La Mascota Bakery in Boyle Heights. You're listening to Los Angeles Nista at skidrowstudios.com.
This episode of Los Angeles Nista is brought to you by La Mascota Bakery, a family-owned business serving the community since 1952. Tamales and sweetbread, made the old-fashioned way daily.
Concessions, I will not budge. I won't
for yourself.
find something for them to do. When they come home, nobody's around. Keep them occupied after school. Children occupied after school. Gotta find something for them to do. When they come home, nobody's around. We gotta get them occupied after school. Good. Them occupied. Knife in the face, this is reality. Knife in the face, that's what you think of me. Friends are just roles we choose to occupy. Just blips on the radar, passing in the night. And all of the good times, they only end bad. And all of the laughter, it always turns sad. You lied. Well, handshakes mean nothing, and a man's word is his lie. I can't believe I went along for the ride. Knife in the face when I was down and out. Knife in the face, it left no doubt. Knife in the face, this is reality. Knife in the face, that's what you think of me. This is the sound of a broken heart. I bared my soul and I had it ripped apart. This is the sound of shattered dreams. They flew too high and above their means. And
Hi, I'm Rick Kosick, and you're listening to Car Free Radio Nista on SkidrowStudios.com.
This episode of Los Angeles Nista is brought to you by La Mascota Bakery, a family-owned business serving the community since 1952. Tamales and sweetbread, made the old-fashioned way daily.
Free will.
Welcome back to Los Angeles Nista, episode 132. In studio guest Dan Jacobs from Atreyu.
Yeah.
What's up?
Give him a big round of applause.
Big round of applause. Atreyu,
All right, really
man.
quick. We're gonna before we come back, we're gonna fit in a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a special guest.
Special guest shooter.
Now we have a new sponsor, Cold Cock Whiskey. Put it in the camera.
I'd like to thank Adam and Rick over at Cold Cock for being really supportive of all of our bands and just us over the years. And now they're supporting Los Angeles Nista. So thank you, Cold Cock.
And what's your name?
Take your shot.
What's that? In the mic?
Anthony.
And what's
Anthony.
your show called?
Pints of Cacophony.
All right.
Tune in next.
Welcome
We're
to
gonna do a shot with you.
Welcome
Cheers.
to Los Angeles Nista, and cheers to you, and good luck to your show.
Yeah, good luck to your show.
All right. Salud. Herbal whiskey.
Down the hiatch.
Now, this episode is brought to you by Poppy's Pizza. We just had their food.
Delicious.
They have the only stone oven in downtown. Wasn't that a good crust?
It was awesome. It's got that New
You've
York.
had it before, right?
You've had Poppy's Pizza.
Isn't it good?
Heck yeah.
Bomb, huh?
It's bomb.
It's bomb.
Especially when you leave it afterwards.
Now, and also, AmpsandGreenscreens.com in Dallas, Texas, a great online music magazine.
Absolutely.
And Flood Control Skateboards, Santa Cruz Skateboards. Now, let's get into the interview because I want to dig deep with Dan. You got a huge connection to the band Warrant.
Yeah. I got kind of interesting situation with we did this article in Revolver magazine. This is in about 2006, and it was a thing where they were like, all right, give us your top 10. And me in particular, they were like, Dan, give us your top 10 metal bands that like influenced you and one song by them and why you liked them. And then they were going to put all those songs on a CD and they put it in the magazine. I was like, okay, so I do this thing. It comes out like a month later or something like that. And I was in New York at the time, and we were doing something in New York. We were just coming out, and we're standing out there on the curb waiting to go for a car to come pick us up. And I get a phone call from an unknown number, and I'm like, well, what is this? And in particular, one of the bands that I'd mentioned was, Warrant, the song Cherry Pie. Not that
She's my cherry pie.
Exactly. It's not my favorite of all Warrant songs, but
I Saw Red.
I love it. Another gem.
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Uncle
Tom's Cabin.
I saw red. I love that
No
song.
secret down in Uncle Tom's cabin.
There is no secret.
Good songs.
Yeah, okay.
No, they got some jam.
Sorry to interrupt, but it just makes me want to sing out loud. I just want to sing out loud. So continue.
Okay, so I get this call from an unknown number, and I answer it. I'm like, hello? And they're like, yeah, is this Dan Jacobs? I'm like, yeah, who's this? He's like, this is Joey Allen from Warrant. I'm like, what? Like, what? Why is this guy calling me? Like, this is crazy. Like, this is like I grew up listening to this band. Like, why is this guy calling me? Like, this is like, I'm like, kind of, covering the phone. And I'm like, oh my God, the dude from Warrant. Oh my God. So I'm like, yeah, what's up? So what's going on? And he's like, dude, I just want to call and thank you because he'd read the article that I put in there about that his band was one of the bands mentioned. And I think they were trying to like kind of make a comeback. So like it was like perfect timing to have like their name kind of in a magazine.
Current big bands like article.
So he was all stoked. So then he hits me and he's like, hey, you guys are on the Taste of Chaos tour right now. It's coming through Long Beach Arena. Do you mind if I get a couple tickets and come out? I'm like, yeah, dude.
Hell
come
yeah.
on down, dude. I'll hang out with the dude from Warrant. Like,
yeah.
All right. So I invite him out. He comes out and we're hanging out at the show and stuff, and it's super trippy. I'm like, this is so weird. Like the guy from Warrant's just like hanging out with me. Like, I don't even know what to say to this guy. Like what do you talk about with the guy from Warrant? Yeah. And in long story short, and talking to him about this randomness, he starts telling me about where he lives. And I'm like, wait, so you live where? And like what city? And like, wait, what street did you say you live off again? I live off that street.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I come to find out he lives in the complex right across from me.
That's amazing.
He's like my neighbor. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what are the chances of like this all coming together?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, we got to hang out sometime. I'm like, yeah, we do.
So do you hang with him?
Oh, so okay. So this is right. This is my favorite part. So I ask him, do you smoke weed? And he's like, oh yeah, like, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, have you ever heard of a volcano? And he'd never heard one of these things, but it's like
the volcano rules. The turkey bag full of smoke.
Turkey bag full of smoke. I mean, just gets you fucked up. So I'm like, hey man, I have one of these things. Do you mind? Like, I'll bring it over, and I'll like, if you've never tried one before, like, I'll get you high as shit. And he's like, all right. So I bring this over. We go to his house, and you know, he answers the door, and as soon as he answers the door, he like hands me a Warrant DVD and a Warrant T-shirt. And I'm kind of like, well,
were you stoked?
Well, I mean, like, it was like a 50-50 thing. 50% of me was like, wow, this is awesome. I just got a Warrant DVD and a T-shirt. And then the other 50% was like, this is weird. Like, what, what a weird greeting. Like, here's you know,
hey,
here's
man,
my band's
what's
T-shirt.
up? Like,
Here's some of my stuff. Here's my whole CD collection, and here's you know some of my old underpants in case you want to sniff them. I'm
Weird.
like, okay.
Why'd you show up with stuff?
So, which makes it a little weird is he was like a guy that he also worked for Hughes and Kettner amps, and he was kind of trying to push the amps to me. It was kind of like a sales thing as well.
Oh, he works for Hughes and Kettner.
Yeah, so there was like there was a you know there was a little bit more than meets the eye when it came to wanting to hang out with me. So
he was being pretty Hollywood, right?
Yeah, he's been pretty Hollywood. I mean, he's a very nice guy, but he was being very Hollywood. And so we get in there. I'm like, okay. So we get upstairs and we go off to the balcony and I sit at the volcano and I get this thing and he takes one good rip off it and he just gets high as shit. I mean, like he's like uncomfortably high where he's like doesn't know what to do
in his own house.
In his own house, like
that
he doesn't know what to
sucks.
do.
Dude, that's great.
So he suggests he's like, what do you know? Let's you know you want to go downstairs and jam? I'm like, okay, as long as this means what I think it means, I'm in. You know, like.
So you gotta go downstairs and jam cocks up your ass.
No. I'm like, but I have to take the risk, you know? Like, I've got to take the risk. I got to go check it out.
Even if it means having to hook up with them, it's worth it to jam.
I'm like, you know what? You know, it's just meant to be.
Yeah,
Maybe we're just meant to be together.
Exactly.
You know? It's just, that's how love happens, you know?
Hey, man, love happens, dude. Don't run from love, Dan.
So I go downstairs with them, and for me, this is like a big moment for me because I had this whole thing growing up, me talking about Def Leppard and Van Halen and all this stuff. Like, I was very influenced by them, and I really wanted to be like one of them. I wanted them to look at me as like you're in the club, man. Like you're in. Yeah. You're a guy like us, you know. Like then I feel like I've like, you know, achieved the abilities that I was trying to achieve. And so we go down there, and first he kind of starts giving the sales pitch on the Hughes and Kettner, and I'm like, I just what did you use back in the 80s? Like, what did you use? And he's like, oh, well, you know, I used old Marshalls. I was like, that's what I use.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna stick with that. You know? Stick with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just gonna stick with that. It's not broken. Yeah, it's not broken.
Yeah, exactly. That's your jam.
So then he's like, all right. So he's like, all right. So, you know, let's jam. So he gets the guitar out and he plugs it in. And he's like, all right, we're gonna play Name That Solo. And I'm like, I'm like, all right. I'm pretty high right now myself. I'm like, what is this gonna entail? So he's like, okay. So he starts playing the solo, and I'm like, okay, I don't recognize this at all. And then he's like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, oh, it's the one from like Uncle Tom's Cabin or something like that. Like,
he only played his own solos.
Oh my God. I was like, oh, okay. First I come in, I get the T-shirts and then I get the DVD. Now I've got we're playing Name That Solo and he's playing his own solos. And I'm getting stumped.
Oh no.
High. I'm like, oh, this is so awkward.
You lose the T-shirt. You lose the T-shirt.
Yeah, totally, dude.
It's like, give me that back. So I had my turn. This is my crowning moment where he gives me the guitar and he's like, all right, it's like your turn. Like you play something. And I'm like, oh, like I have to be good right now. Like if I don't deliver right now, I am forever out of the club. So I just wanked away and did every jerk off move that I could do and was like, you know, and he was like, oh, you play. I'm like,
okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in. I made it. You know, like I'm in. I mean, even though nobody else knows except for me and him. And we're in this weird moment downstairs. We're trying to set it up.
That's so good, dude.
But to end it all, we then go upstairs and he's like, so you want to watch the DVD?
Shut the fuck up. He made you watch his DVD with him.
And of course I can't say no.
So you watched his DVD.
So I'm like, all right, let's watch the DVD. So he then goes, he doesn't have a DVD player prepared though yet. So he has to go off in the other room.
Shut the fuck up.
And he gets the DVD player out, he brings it in, and he's like on his hands and knees like dad style, plumber style with the butt crack hanging out.
Shut the fuck
digging around, trying to like get it all hooked up.
He wants to make sure you watch it high in his house.
All of the above. Puts the DV in, and I'm getting like play-by-play commentary on Warrant 1991 in Tokyo.
That's amazing.
Now let me tell you something.
That's seriously such a fucking great story, dude.
I had Caroline Ryder in here, a woman who co-wrote a book with Jenny Lane's wife?
Okay. Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that book just came out. It was like her tell.
By the way, I love Bobby Brown. He's like one of my favorite singers ever.
I like the Jets.
Oh, the Jets, dude.
Remember?
Yeah, they were from an island.
Guam.
The Jets. What was
something? Okay, listen. No.
Sorry, that was a total tangent.
Okay, I got to know.
Yeah.
You're in Atreyu. Records on Hollywood Records. playing all kinds of big shows. What are some of the biggest shows you've played?
Oh, yeah.
Metallica?
We did Metallica headline. We did Weenie Roast in 2008.
That's
in
right.
Metallica.
Did you meet him?
Didn't meet. I've never met Metallica. I've seen him driving around in carts and stuff like that. Never met him.
You didn't care?
Nah, I'm going to go out and say this again.
I love it, dude.
Not a fan.
Hey,
He said he doesn't like Slayer.
There's some straight up bands that I don't like either. People always get people crumb on you.
Dude, but we're talking about Def Leppard, White Lion. Now,
Melody.
When you came in here, I was like, okay, Tell Me. You're like, I love Tell Me. So I know my White Lion.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the thing about White Lion, okay, where are you with Rat?
Love Rat. Lay it down.
Isn't Out of the Cellar a great record?
All of them. And
Lay it down.
That was like the riff whenever I had to check my guitar live, be like, Dan, check your guitar. I just
To
play
make sure
Lay
it's
It Down.
tuned in like that. Like,
Yeah, because we play in drop C, so we have the down tuned notes. So we can just
down.
you can just hit that low note for
Warren
the
DeMartini rules.
Rips.
I obey his commands at all times.
Rips.
Yeah. As any decent human being should.
No, but I mean, like, Invasion of Your Privacy, that record, Out of This. But here's the deal. Out of the Cellar, everybody agrees that it's a good LA rock record, but there's like this dark cloud looming over it. It's like kind of not just like so glammy. It's like a serious hard rock record.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Back for More is my favorite song.
Oh.
What do you think of that song?
Huge. The intro to it and the way it comes in and everything. I mean,
Now, when you listen to that record through professional ears, there's no Pro Tools. Those are some great tones, right?
That's
record.
playing. That's just straight
serious
fingers.
Serious playing.
That's in the wrist. That's in the throat, dude.
These guys are doing
the
it,
lungs, the
right? That's a serious.
I love it in the
dude,
throat
dude.
too.
Oh, dude, just
Hey, I gotta tell you, I had Out of the Cellar. I got it when it came out. It was a tape of a tape.
No.
And I taped
That's pretty
shit
Mexican,
over the one
bro.
I had to like.
Hey,
it
that's
was
pretty.
very Mexican,
That's pretty
dude.
Chicano, bro.
It is, dude.
I was the only guy in Pico Rivera and Whittier that had like all my metal and rock tapes, like original from the store, like
you were the only one
in order in a briefcase. Those tape briefcases. You know what I mean? And then like all the children were like, "Hey, let me borrow that, bro. Let me double tape. Let me dupe it."
Yeah.
And then, but everyone was like, "Yeah, okay, here's your tapes back." But I remember I had like Paul Stanley's solo record just with his face.
I taped so many tapes.
Some gangster guy was like, "Let me borrow that Paul Stanley record."
For real? Like, what?
It's like, you want the Paul Stanley solo record?
Like what?
For no reason?
That's so fucking weird, dude.
Do you love it?
Of course I do, dude. That's great.
And then they're like,
hey, if I had to go to a deserted island and I could only bring one cassette, the rest of it would be Paul Stanley's solo record.
Where do you stand with Whitesnake?
Ooh, love Whitesnake.
Okay,
but where do you
Crying
stand
in the
with
Rain?
Whitesnake?
No, Crying in the Rain.
Love to stand right
adjacent.
about-
Adjacent.
Rudy Sarzo, as he licks the bass.
Oh, Rudy Sarzo is ridiculous. I've been fortunate enough to hang out with him in different weird random scenarios, and he's like the nicest, like
He's
super
very nice.
mellow, like just soft spoken kind of almost dude, like just kind of keeps himself.
I worked for a label that was distributed by Caroline, and he had his own label called Sarzo Music, a Spanish rock band. And I went to his his house in North Hollywood, and he opened a closet, and he had a bunch of Quiet Riot mental health masks
in his
closet. And I was just like,
whoa.
I like melted. I was like, dude, he's so cool, dude.
I love that, dude.
Rudy Sarzo.
I want to be Rudy Sarzo. I want to be.
You should ask Rudy Sarzo to join. Hey, tell Robbo that is basically.
Robbo, you're out. Rudy Sarzo just joined us by stereo.
You don't even say cool. I'll tech.
No, you gotta have Rudy call him and kick him out.
We should. That would be amazing, dude. We almost got John Alderati to play bass on a Death by Stereo record. We had a producer recommend him. We almost hired him, but then we got a bass player.
Robbo's rad. Okay, listen.
So Robbo's the best.
Listen. When it comes to straight guitar heroes for you, no pun intended, it's Eddie Van Halen and who else?
Brian May.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I mentioned
made his own
Queen
guitar
earlier,
with his dad.
Legit.
Okay, listen to the riffs in Bohemian Rhapsody or anything else. It's heavy, dude.
It's heavy, but it's so melodic and has.
It's easy on the ears, right?
You can sing along. His. I mean, don't get me wrong. Guitar solos in any song when they kick in, I mean, they got to be at that level of the vocal. It takes over for a bit, but it's not it's not like the way Brian May does it. I mean, it's still the vocal, even though it's the guitar. Like it's still the vocal. Like it's you sing along to the guitar solos, like as if there was lyrics.
He's really tasteful, man.
So tasteful. I mean, it's never too much, And if he gets a little crazy, he just explodes for a second, then he comes right back out and goes right back to petting you on the back of your head and just letting you know that it's okay.
Everything's gonna be all right.
I mean, that's a great analogy, the way you described it.
He spoons you with his music. That's kind of his thing.
Sometimes you just spoon me with you. I don't need your music.
Let's
just make it awkward.
Physical pleasure.
Let's just make it awkward.
Okay, so
that's our. Hey, by the way, that's the band that we all just started right here. We're all in the new group, Physical Pleasure. You can check us out at physicalpleasure.net.
We'll be on tour playing all the state fairs with Hall & Oates all year. You bring a bunch of recycled cans, you get a free ticket.
Yeah.
Hall & Oates is good, dude.
I fucking love Hall & Oates, dude.
You know what's as good as Huey Lewis in the News?
Touch. Can I tell you guys something about Huey Lewis in the News really quick? And this is no joke. We tried to do this like 2 years ago, but all the dudes got busy, and we are going to start rehearsing for my Mexican tribute to Huey Lewis in the News called Chuy Luis.
Chuy Luis?
And the News. Dude. Dan's in the band too. We rehearsed like 2 years ago, then it fell apart, but we're actually had an active conversation about getting the Chuy Luis in the News going.
Chuy Luis.
How great is that, dude?
I saw Huey once, and I almost got in a fight.
How? Wait, what?
With old people, because they were standing behind us. We were like, Huey, like, you're watching, I don't even remember the opening bands. We're just watching. It was the Orange County Fairgrounds.
Awesome.
Getting ready for Huey to come on. It's packed. I'm with a few different people. We're all sitting in the row.
It was packed, right? People care, right?
People care. Dude,
He has multiple
tickets,
diamond
right?
records, dude.
Yeah.
Huey.
Diamond.
Yeah, like
not platinum, diamond records.
Yeah. He keeps saying, if this is it,
The Power of Love. Dude, Back to the Future.
Club.
Dude, okay, let me tell you something really quick. Just off on a tangent. I asked Lance Mountain in that chair, pro skater Lance Mountain. I'm like, when did fucking skateboarding get huge? He goes, when Back to the Future came out. And I told him, that's the power of love.
That's amazing.
Remember? That was a theme song. Yeah. And he goes, exactly. So think about it. Diamond, that's 10 million records before Backstreet.
That's the Van Halen Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So continue.
What were we talking about?
Huey Lewis, you saw them. It was packed. You were sitting there in the row.
So
I'm a good listener.
So these people behind us, like Huey comes on, and of course, when you're at a concert, you get excited, you stand up. You're like, all right, let's do this. It's concert time, and we stand up. Not that I'm, much to not have to look over, but for whatever reason, us all standing up.
Yeah.
These people were just like they didn't stand up. They're the only people that didn't stand up. They wanted to sit there and just kind of watch
wet
Huey
blankets.
lose. Yeah, it was like. So they were kind of like yelling at us.
They weren't feeling the power.
They're, like, what are you guys doing? They're going to call security on you. And we're just like, we're at a concert.
We're at a rock show.
Security on
and
you.
it's called security on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are you sitting down?
And it's Huey Lewis.
Yeah, for Huey. Do you understand what you're
I'll
watching
tell you what, bro.
right now?
That'll never happen to you at a Chuy Luis concert.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Ole.
That was a Jewish Ole.
That was amazing.
I love that.
Ole. Jewish Ole.
I'm serious. I love that. That's good shit.
So really quick though, I want to mention, I'm going to be jamming with Dan coming up on April 12th.
Yeah, it loaded here in Hollywood.
He's winning Dead by Stereo.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering a Fear song.
Really?
I forgot which one.
I Don't Care About You.
I Don't Care About You. I knew. I was just testing Dan. Did you?
I had Lee Ving in
I'm
here.
a listener as well.
Lee Ving was in here.
You are a good listener, y'all.
Lee Ving was in here, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you know what he told me? He's like, I go, man, I go, seriously, you always talked about more beer. What's your favorite beer? And he was like, Guinness.
That's it.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like Hams.
And then it was after he did the Sound City thing with Dave Grohl, and I was like, what was the this backstory behind Your Wife Is Calling, that song on the Sound City Players? He goes, I used to work at a bar before cell phones and internet, and the wives used to call.
Oh, your wife is calling.
Yeah.
They knew what bar their husbands always went to after work.
Yeah. So the song's like, your wife is calling, dun dun dun. Your wife is
amazing.
He's like, there's no one here. We're just drinking beer. Dude, those lyrics are rad, dude. So, I mean, Lee Ving, to cover Fear, that's rad.
His name's Lee Ving.
Leaving.
V-I-N-G.
Like leaving.
Oh,
leaving.
It sounds like it's like a Jewish last name, like Levine.
Yeah.
Levine, but it's V-I-N-G. Like L-E-E.
Leaving.
V-I-N-G. I'm leaving.
Leaving.
Great, right? But we're covering Fear together. at Loaded on April 12th. Come out. It's to benefit Band for a Cure, which raises awareness for cancer.
Yeah.
What kind of guitars do you play?
I play ESPs.
You have your own signature series, right?
With the blood dripping down, that thing's hard.
Yeah, I jacked that from Molly Crew.
That's hard.
Dude, you got your own fucking ESP out.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah,
I support it.
No, it's awesome.
You have like an instructional guitar video out. I remember going to Guitar Center and like I was like, holy shit. And like there was like a DVD and you're on the cover like, I'll show you my hot licks or whatever, you know.
I'm trying to make the stupidest face I can make.
It's cool though, dude.
Okay.
You're like a guitar hero. There's a guitar hero here today.
Give us your website.
Cool, huh?
You have a website?
I don't
for
have
the band.
I'm doing the Instagram, doing the Facebooks.
Jan Jacobs on Instagram and Atreyu Official, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Atreyu Official. We just started one.
Plug the whole crew.
Yeah, we got at Dan Jacobs for myself. We got at the Brandon Saller, at Travis Miguel, and at I want to say Porter McKnight. Mark is going by.
Does Alex have like a website for his gym? You know, Alex
He does.
has a gym.
Yeah, he has a gym down in Orange County in Costa Mesa called Hellenic Fitness.
Cool.
It's a CrossFit gym. He gets people buff. I go there and get ripped when I can.
You're buff, bro.
And I also work out there. And
I get ripped. That's amazing.
No, there's no drugs there. There's no drugs. But and it's awesome. Like I said, John Tran from
Wait, do you need us to bring drugs there?
Yes.
Okay, there's no drugs there. I just didn't know if they needed us to bring them.
It's a drug-free zone only because no one is
Car-free, drug-free.
Okay, now really quick. How much time do we have left?
We're done.
Oh, we're done? Hey, favorite place to eat in L.A., really quick.
In L.A.?
Yeah.
You
name
care?
Name it.
Fogo de Chao.
Fogo de Chao. Wow, all right, there you go.
And that's the
Had to get that out of the way.
132nd episode of Los Angeles Nista
Dan,
with
thank you.
Dan Jacobs of Atreyu. Thank you.
Thank you.
try to tell you what to do with your life. You better make the most of it, live to the fullest. Think positive and don't dwell on the bullshit. I can't tell you no better. If you think about quitting, don't ever give up. I know it ain't working, it's been a long time. You never stop trying, but you can't quit. You gotta keep going, you already knowing. You can't give up, don't ever give up. Give it all you got, it only gets better. Never say never, you know you can't quit. You gotta keep going, you already knowing. You can't give up, you just can't. Coming up is hard, giving up is easy. You always get the game from your homie too cheesy. I keep it so real, never spit it false. I hope you make it big, and if you ever fall off, remember these words, it's only what you make it. Anything is possible, you want it, better take it. I ain't talking about stealing, felonies are ruining. Stupid, all I'm talking.
Don't ever give up by Too Short. Welcome to the Coonram Report. May the peace and blessings of the life-giving creative spirit be upon you and upon your family. My name is Melvin Ishmael Johnson. This week we will be talking about mental illness and the homeless with Mary Louise Harrison, and an in-studio performance of speeches of Marcus Garvey by Mr. Lee Shaw. Also, veteran stage and screen actor David McKnight will read a portion of Dr. Martin Luther King's letter from a Birmingham jail. Right now we have Leonard Manzelli with us on the phone. He's a psychotherapist and has been a clinical social worker for the past 30 years. He's also worked in the California prison system. He's a playwright with the Roby Theater Company's advanced playwriting program, and he's written a play called Cages. How you doing today, Leonard?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Oh, just fine. Leonard, can you tell us a little about Cages?
Cages. Cages is a play that I wrote for the theater, and it came out of some of the work that I did in the